day, and welcome to State of Events. I'm Maya Church.
And I'm Kasia Pieruk. To start off today, we would like to bring to your attention some protesters who are holding a hunger strike in front of the Mission Bay Police Department. Our reporter, Haley Vetterlein, has the full story.
A group of 5 started a hunger strike on Thursday, April 21st, and it continues to grow.
This is really important for us. That's why we're willing to give our lives.
It's the 12th day of the hunger strike, and protesters say they plan to continue fasting until Police Chief Greg Sir is fired and Mayor Ed Lee steps down.
This is a demand for justice for our city.
In addition to an officer's racist texts that were recently exposed, the crowd says the San Francisco Police Department needs a reversal.
Mario Woods, Alex Nieto, Kenneth Harden, Jose Luis, Amilcar Perez are not household names. We need these names to be household names so people know what's going on in San Francisco.
They're going to the extreme to get their point across, and their bodies are starting to feel the effects of poor nutrition, only surviving on fluids.
No, orange flavor is okay.
Thank you, much appreciated.
The community supports them by donating liquids.
Amazingly, I haven't felt hunger in about 2.5 days. My body hurts, my body's weak.
It's a spiritual journey that we're on that's allowing us not to be able to eat food.
These protesters outside the Mission Police Department can go approximately 3 weeks without any food, but they're going to stay out here as long as it takes for their demands to be met. In San Francisco's Mission District, I'm Haley Vetterlein, State of Events.
The faculty at City College of San Francisco shut down their 11 campuses on Thursday. They were striking for higher wages. Currently, the faculty is being paid 3.5% lower than the wages they received in 2007. The students were striking too. They want more classes and a higher quality education. Each year, 400 classes are cut to keep within budget. Officials say the lack of funds root from the college almost losing its accreditation in 2012. The college received state money to keep it from going under, but all funds will be gone by next year. It's unsure if CCSF can meet the teachers' and students' demands.
Bay Area school districts are struggling to retain teachers. The high cost of living and the continuous housing crisis in and around San Francisco are forcing teachers out of the region. An average pay for teachers in several Bay Area counties rose about 12% over the past 7 years. By comparison, the median rent price in these counties has increased by 66% within the same time period. The disproportion has created an enormous staffing problem for local schools. Jody London of Oakland Unified School District says that there is a staffing problem every year now, and that it's a real challenge to find teachers for all classes.
UC Berkeley will spend $2.5 million to help fight the sexual harassment issues on campus. The money will be used to raise awareness and improve future harassment investigations. The women at UC Berkeley are happy to see the campus taking a step in the right direction. 19 university staff members have been investigated for sexual harassment since 2011. As a result, 13 people were fired. The other 8 staff members were disciplined but are still working on campus. UC Berkeley's first training sessions are scheduled to start in a few weeks.
When you think of California's top schools, you might have Stanford, UC Berkeley, and UCLA on your mind. Although these colleges are known worldwide for their high academic achievements, they have also scored high in a quite different ranking. The U.S. Department of Education has released new data about college campus crimes. The data reveals that California's top 3 schools, when it comes to the highest crime rate per student, are indeed Stanford, UC Berkeley, and UCLA.
On Monday, a new bill in Tennessee was passed into law. Full-time faculty at public colleges and universities can now carry guns on campus. If a staff member wants to bring their registered firearm on campus, they must notify local law enforcement. The gun must be concealed at all times and are not allowed at school events. Faculty is also not allowed to have the firearm when having one-on-one meetings with a student or during a tenure meeting. No students are allowed to carry firearms on campus.
Recently, there has been an ongoing fight between transgenders and the public's distaste for their use of public bathrooms. Companies like Target have put their foot down in the fight between the two parties. Our own reporter Lindsay Regas has more on the story and the ongoing battle.
Thanks, Kasha. I'm standing outside a Target where a controversy has been going on about allowing transgender bathrooms in each store. One pastor's video about allowing transgenders to use the bathroom they self-identify with is going viral.
Are you kidding me? The bathroom that you self-identify with. That has to be one of the most ridiculous moves I've ever heard of in my life.
The American Family Association, a Christian group, has over 500,000 signatures to boycott Target. We spoke to shoppers outside of Target who had a different perspective.
I think people should be able to use the bathrooms of their choice.
All of the Target shoppers I spoke to were not against showing restrooms with people who identify as transgender.
But whatever makes that individual comfortable.
Target is sticking to their policy because it allows for a comfortable working environment. Reporting in San Francisco, I'm Lindsay Regis, State of Events.
I saw a sleeping bear, a grizzly bear. It was sleeping behind a tree, and I saw a real coyote. Even though the planet's spinning, you can't see it spinning. Recycle things like boxes or something. And water helps the environment so everything can live. No waterfish could not live. I've been in the ocean. Or the beach. When I go to my grandma and grandpa's house, I can walk. Nothing would get water in our whole land. Yeah. Throwing things away and using them again. The scraps we can make up. I like the planet. My future is now. My future is now. My future is now. My future is now. My future is now.
Now let's hear from Ace Prado for our weekly election update.
Both presidential frontrunners celebrated a victorious night after notching a win in the East Coast primaries. Trump wins East Coast primaries in Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. However, Hillary Clinton defeated her rival in each state except the state of Rhode Island. In the meantime, Donald Trump is creating America's first foreign policy because he is calling out Obama's foreign policy a disaster. BBC states that the policy needs to be flexible if Trump is elected for presidency. Now, Hillary Clinton is finding a strategy to defeat Trump since the party nominations are locked in. Donald Trump is deciding to aim the general election towards Clinton's campaign and gender roles. Clinton has a different way in handling the situation. In the campaign, Clinton is taking the high road by being confident that Trump's personal attacks will backfire. On May 3, the state of Indiana is going to vote for their favorite candidate. Since Indiana does not have a party registration, Ted Cruz has an advantage in the Midwest because the state is liberal. If Trump does not win Indiana, he has to get votes from California and elsewhere. Ted Cruz and John Kasich are joining forces to stop Donald Trump. According to CNN, Cruz is trailing Trump by single digits. Although the candidates attack each other, Trump outbursts on Twitter. The other presidential candidate, Bernie Sanders, is planning rallies at Purdue University and Indiana University. This is it for your election update. I'm Ace Prado. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Ace. Newburgh, New York declared a state of emergency after officials found their water supply was contaminated. City officials found elevated levels of PFOS, a key ingredient found in various stain repellents. The city of Newburgh is 60 miles north of New York City with a population of about 30,000 people. This state of emergency is different from Flint, Michigan, but still has many people concerned. The New York State Department of Conservation and the Department of Health are taking precautions to remove the harmful compound. Residents are being asked to reduce their water intake while the city pulls water from other resources. Tomorrow, President Obama will visit Flint, Michigan to meet Mari, aka Little Miss Flint. Mari is an 8-year-old activist affected by the lead-leaking water pipes. She started a fund for children like herself and emailed the president asking to meet with him or his wife last month when she was visiting D.C. Mari's initial email and the president's response is heartwarming. The Obamas didn't have time to meet with her in Washington, but now Obama is making a special trip. The president will chat with Mari and many other families that have been negatively affected by the faulty water system.
The state of California blames PG&E for the Butte fire. The catastrophic fire killed 2 people and destroyed more than 900 structures last September. California officials are demanding PG&E to pay more than $90 million for causing the deadly fire. An investigation into the case revealed that PG&E and its tree trimming contractors failed to maintain a pine tree, which ended up falling onto the power lines. If the amount of money sought by the state is paid, it would be the largest award for wildfire damage against the utility on record.
BART police want to install license plate reading cameras in BART parking stations. The new equipment would help combat crime and enforce parking violations. There is one camera already in place at MacArthur Station that is not collecting data. Not all BART riders are thrilled about this new possible technology. One rider says it's BART's job to provide a service, not to spy. At BART's next board meeting, they hope to create a policy plan which will protect riders' data.
A growing number of Bay Area residents is ready to leave. Recent poll conducted by the Bay Area Council surveyed 1,000 people who were randomly selected. The results of this poll are not surprising to many. More than half of current Bay Area residents are planning on moving out of the region within the next 5 years. The most significant problems mentioned by the majority of respondents are the cost of living, housing, traffic, and income inequality.
Guns, drugs, a sex tape, and designer handbags are the latest discoveries in the story of career criminal Stanislav Petrov. State of Events reporter Michael Overby has been following developments from this controversial man's fight against law enforcement.
Stanislav Petrov is no stranger to law enforcement. According to the new documents from the FBI, the 29-year-old man has been charged with 43 felonies, convicted of 5.
Petrov, come to the front door.
3 weeks before agents swooped in and made an arrest, the FBI say they served a search warrant at this visitation home for an unrelated cybercrime investigation. During a search, agents found Petrov and his girlfriend naked in a room with 3 bags of methamphetamine, numerous pipes, and a handgun hidden inside a Louis Vuitton messenger bag. Agents say a sex tape showing Petrov in the bedroom proves it all belongs to him.
I'm here at the alley in which Petrov was beaten. I also had the chance to speak with his mother on the phone. She has remained by his side throughout this whole ordeal. She says that she is very skeptical of the allegations coming from the FBI, and that it all ties back to November 12th.
Petrov's mother is skeptical of law enforcement because of this video showing 2 Alameda County deputies beating her son on November 12th. Her son is in the process of suing Alameda County deputies, not just for the beating, but also for attempts to cover up what they had done. Deputies had turned off their body cameras, and while department policy says officers must complete their reports before the end of their shift, the deputies submitted police reports 4 days after the incident, after this video leaked.
Attorneys for Petrov also claimed a deputy stole a necklace off his neck and then used it to bribe 2 homeless witnesses.
Unsavory or allegedly unsavory aspects of a victim's past often creep up when these lawsuits are being made.
UC Hastings Law School professor Hadar Aviram says the new charges against Petrov should not stop his civil lawsuit from moving forward.
Whether this person also happens to be accused of other crimes, even very heinous crimes, shouldn't be pertinent to this.
Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Thank you, Michael, for covering such an interesting story. Coming up next, after the break, find out who can travel visa-free all over the European Union.
Chances of playing in the NFL, 1 in 1,500. Chances of becoming a pop star, 1 in 3,000. Chances of becoming a Hollywood actor, 1 in 5,000. Chances of getting into a school of your choice are better than 4 in 5. First round enrollment. It's for your family's future.
Claudia is a pre-med student in search of a global health experience. She desires a program abroad that provides cultural immersion. Claudia wants a credible program that affirms her interest in the medical field. Most importantly, she seeks an international, community-based health program. Claudia finds herself with Child Family Health International. How will you distinguish yourself? Visit cfhi.org.
Welcome back to State of Events. World News correspondent Michelle Gong is here in the studio with us today. Michelle, what do you have for us today?
The European Commission has offered visa-free travel for Turkish citizens inside Europe's passport-free Schengen area. The agreement will waive the requirement to get a 3-month visa for tourism or business trips for Turks, but will not grant them the right to a job in Europe. The UK, Ireland, and Cyprus aren't in Schengen and will keep the visa requirement for Turkey. The European Parliament and member states must still approve the deal. The EU hopes that in return, Turkey will take back migrants who cross the Aegean Sea to Greece amid the migrant crisis. Italian authorities have arrested 4 people suspected of carrying out ISIS orders to conduct an attack on the Vatican and the Israeli embassy in Rome. The Milan prosecutor Maurizio Romanelli says they have also issued arrest warrants for 2 more suspects operating in Syria. Authorities say that one of the suspects is Moroccan-born national citizen Abderrahim Mudarik. Mudarik reportedly received the order through WhatsApp from an individual who had received the direct order. Romanelli says that Italian investigators intercepted the message before swooping in on the cell phone. ISIS has regularly used the symbolism of Rome and the Roman Empire to outline its aims to conquer Europe. Brazil's Attorney General Rodrigo Renault has asked the Supreme Court to investigate Senator Écio Neves for corruption charges. Neves is a former presidential candidate and has been accused of taking bribes from a state-owned electricity company called Furnas. Neves denies any wrongdoing. The allegations stem from a recording of Senator Delcidio Amaral discussing plans to help a detained official flee Brazil in exchange for his discretion on the Petrobras scandal. Amaral says that the Petrobras and Furnas cases are similar. Top construction companies pay bribes to politicians and senior company executives in order to secure lucrative, overpriced contracts. Amaral was arrested back in November in connection to Petrobras.
Thanks, Michelle. In sports, a former Cincinnati Red takes the mound in Cincinnati to face old friends. Plus, we'll check in on how the Curryless Warriors did against the Portland Trail Blazers in Game 1. Anton Luchtel joins us with all the sports. Anton?
The Warriors are currently without soon-to-be back-to-back MVP Steph Curry. His sprained knee is due for reevaluation ahead of Game 3. But for the time being, it's Klay Thompson's team, and he has an opportunity to show what he can do. Warriors hosting the Trailblazers in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. This will be a tough series without Curry, but we'll see what happens. In the first quarter, Klay Thompson, he was getting hot, nailing threes from all over the place. Check out the distance on this one. From way downtown, Klay Thompson is firing. He had 19 in the first quarter, which outscored the entire Trailblazers team. Right before the first quarter ends, why not another one? Let's fast forward to the third quarter. Draymond Green wanted to in on some of the action. He'd finished the game with a triple-double. I mean, this guy's a machine, but story of the night was Klay Thompson. But check this out here. Anderson Varejao and Gerald Henderson get into a little beef, a little chest bump there. They were both ejected for receiving second technicals later in the game. Back to Klay Thompson, story of the game, and one right there. And he would hit a three late in the game to send the Portland Trailblazers packing as the Warriors would win the game 118-106, and Klay Thompson would finish with 37 points. That's it for sports today. Next week, we'll have a full coverage on the Warriors' run in the playoffs, as well as whatever else is going on in the sports world. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Anton. Afina Shakur Davis, a political activist, philanthropist, and mother of legendary rapper Tupac, passed away last night in her Sausalito home. According to the Sheriff's Department, deputies responded to the call just after 9:30 p.m. She was pronounced dead shortly after at age 69. No official cause of death has been announced.
Beyoncé has just released her 6th studio album. The new music from Queen Bee has stirred things up in the entertainment industry. The album, titled Lemonade, has 12 tracks and an hour-long film with visuals for the songs. These visuals and song lyrics proved to be quite controversial, reaching far beyond the music itself. One of the lyrics has started an entertainment manhunt, or actually a woman hunt, as everyone wonders, who is Becky with the good hair, as Beyoncé sings in the track. All of this has fueled cheating rumors, of course, and many celebrities, especially Rachel Roy, are on the radar. Now, I wonder, who is Becky?
But now I think that it might actually be Rita Ora and not Rachel Roy.
I have also heard that Rihanna is on the radar too for the gossips.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who it could possibly be. But thanks for tuning in for our show this week.
Yeah, thank you for watching State of Events, and we hope to see you next week. I'm Kasia Piero.
And I'm Maya Church.
Thank you.